Hi there, my name is AJ. I am 28 years old. I live in Springdale, Arkansas, and I suffer with mental illness. Today I'd like to start making videos, mostly because I don't have really anybody to talk to about my mental disorders or my mental illnesses, and I feel really alone and I feel really trapped. And I feel like there's just not enough help for people like me out there. And that I'm just one of the many thousands of millions of people out there who suffer from mental illnesses, who slip through the cracks. I literally walk a thin line of being a member of society to just turning my back on society all completely and just saying fuck it. Some disclaimers before I really get too deep into this very first video that I've ever created. Strong language, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, nicotine use, trigger warnings for those who have been abused like me may find this video hard to listen to or hard to watch. So, just keep all of that in mind. This video is not aimed to children or to teenagers really, though I do have some advice for those of you who are young and are going through things like I have gone through. It might seem dark and you might feel alone, but in reality you're not alone. If I could have believed that younger, maybe now at almost 30 I would believe it today, but instead I didn't take my coping skills and take the resources that I had when I was younger and use them to my advantages, and now I'm stuck in this perpetual cycle to where I am self-destructive and I make a lot of mistakes and I fall in and out of drug abuse and alcohol abuse and things like that. And it just seems like I just really haven't gotten a good grasp on what it is to really be a functioning member of society, because here I am 28 years old in my parents' garage recording this video at 3:30 in the morning. So there's just a little bit of insight for you. As an adult suffering from complex PTSD, major depressive disorder, I'm on the autism spectrum, and I have ADHD. It is a struggle every day for me to get out of bed, get dressed, go to work, and function like a normal member of society. It literally takes every bit out of me to smile and act happy and bubbly and just everything you could ever possibly believe me to be. But deep down inside, there is this rage boiling, this sadness dwelling, this emptiness inside of this shell of an exterior that looks so happy, but deep down is screaming on the inside, please, for the love of God, somebody save me. It's hard. It's hard and it's heavy to feel the way that I feel on a regular basis. There's such a negative stigma to mental illness and stuff, to where even at the beginning of this year, when I went to first go get help for myself, I was so afraid to go have myself admitted because I didn't want that stigma with me, that I'm so incapable of controlling my emotions that I had to go get help. I'm tired of the stigma that the normality of life, you get up, you go to work, you pay your bills, and you just do. But that's not real reality. Not everybody's like that. You can't just do. You can't just manifest happiness. You can't just manifest good feelings, because deep inside your brain all you hear are these like negative, empty, evil thoughts that just bring you down to the point of nothingness. And that's what people don't grasp with mental illness. Like, even with what I just said, doesn't even grasp the realness of it all. The realness of mental illness is, and I suffer from a lot, complex PTSD, major depressive disorder. I'm on the autism spectrum and I have ADHD, so I'm irrational, I'm erratic, my mind's going 107 million miles a minute, and it's hard for me to stay focused. And then there's the autism spectrum disorder, where it's hard for me to connect with people. It's hard for me to see the world around me other than in the light that I see it, which is completely different from what other people see. The noises that I hear, the sensoriness that I feel, it's incredible, but it's scary all at the same time. And it's overwhelming. Everything, every breath, every step, every moment is overwhelming for me. And it takes everything in me to crawl out of bed and face society every single day and try to be normal and try to hide my autism tics, try to hide my stutter. And here it is, 7 minutes and 10 seconds into this video, and that's the first time you've heard me stutter. And that's because I've worked so hard in my life to avoid stuttering in front of people. I've worked so hard to not act weird, not act abnormal, and things like that, because I knew from a very young age that I was abnormal and I didn't fit in with the regular society. The autism spectrum disorder aside has made my life very hard, but the complex PTSD and the major depressive disorder have made it even harder for me. It's already hard enough to fit in a society where you don't feel like you belong, where you don't understand verbal cues, body language, and things like that. And then on top of that, you were sexually abused as a child and verbally abused and mentally abused, so that like muddies your understanding even more with life. So like I am just this jumbled, fucked up mess of emotions and behaviors that I don't even know how to comprehend or manifest or contain. And it leaves me just so confused and so lost to where I just don't even know what to do with myself most days. A typical day for me is sleeping until I absolutely have to get up for work, because to hell with getting out of bed, I would just rather sleep, because 9 out of 10 times I did not get enough sleep because of my insomnia. So I struggle sleeping, I'm constantly in a brain fog, I'm constantly tired, I'm constantly late, I can't focus, I can't keep anything together, I can't even keep this video together. And this is just a typical day of being somebody with mental illness. Every single day is a fucking struggle. Every single day is hard for me. And it really frustrates me when people say things like, oh, can't you just get over it? Can't you just forget about it? Can't you just move on? I fucking wish I could. I wish I could just erase the 9 years of just torment and abuse and suffering that my fucking father put me through. I wish I could forget that. God, please just grant me that fucking shit. Please. I would love it. I would love to not look myself in the mirror and think, you are a worthless piece of shit, just like your father said you were. Look at you. You fucking have amounted to nothing. You high school dropout, drug abusing, alcoholic piece of shit you are. You are exactly like he said you were going to be. Fucking nothing. That's the shit I hear every day in my fucking brain. That's the things, just a glimpse of some of the shit that I can't fucking turn off. Can't you just get over it? I fucking wish. I wish it was just a snap of the finger. Just get over it. There's a stigma right there. I'm sorry. I'm stuck on the can't you just get over it shit because I've heard it so many times in my life. That's such a stigma with mental illness that I wish people would just drop. Can't you just get over it? No, you can't just get over it when you were abused that long. You can't just forget about it. You can't just lay in bed at night and not fucking sit there and think about the shit you went through and wonder why the fuck you had to go through it in the first place. You hear things, oh, I'm a survivor. It made me a stronger person. Yeah, it made me strong in ways, yeah. I don't take no bullshit. I will beat the fuck out of somebody the moment they try to step out of line and step on me. I just can't. I can't allow anybody to just walk all over me anymore. You know? There's a lot that coincides with it when you grow up. And I wish people could just realize that when you suffer from mental illnesses like I do, it's a lifelong battle. Every day is a struggle, and that's why you hear about so many people just taking their own lives. Because, yeah, that seems so much easier. I'd rather just not live. That's a hard reality. Here's a trigger warning before I show anybody my legs. I literally hate myself. And I have so much pain and so much anger and so much aggression inside of me that sometimes I feel like it's better if I physically manifest that pain. So you've heard people who do self-harm, and I'm one of those people, and I hide it pretty well because my parents think it's childish, but then again, it's a stigma that nobody understands, that literally you have so much hate, so much anger, so much pain inside of you that literally physically harming yourself makes it manifest to where you can watch it heal, and it's a fucked up cycle of fucked upness, and I don't know really how to explain it, but here's a little inside of how much I just hate myself. You can kind of, those are fresh. I just did those recently. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 on that leg, and then there's another 16 altogether. So that was recently. That was within the last 24 hours. I've been dealing with self-harm, drug abuse, and all of that since I was a kid. Since I was 14, 15 years old is when I started fucking hurting myself and abusing drugs and everything else. And I'm 28 now, and I'm still abusing drugs and abusing alcohol. I'm an alcoholic now. I went from being a meth addict, 5 years sober, and now I'm an alcoholic. And you wonder what I'm drinking on? That's whiskey and Coke. One of my favorites. Because I would rather be fucked up than have to face my feelings every day. So, from the time I get home from work until I crash out at night, I am getting drunk. that's just a little insight on what it's like on a regular basis living with mental illness. It's a struggle, it's a fight, it's a never ending battle that I feel like I may not win. So, here's a message. If you or someone you know struggles with mental illness, know A, you're not alone, and they are not alone. If you know somebody who struggles from mental illness, be there for them, no matter what, because you could very well save their life one day. That's some real facts right there. You never know what your wisdom, what your guidance, what your heartfelt words can do for somebody who struggles with mental illness and who's struggling with debating whether or not they want to take their own lives. If you struggle with mental illness, I know you don't believe me, because I barely believe me, but hopefully one day you'll be okay. Hopefully one day your demons will be able to be put to rest. I hope one day I will. I hope that I can beat it. I hope that it doesn't beat me, and I hope it doesn't beat you. It's hard to be strong. Some days are easier than others. Today's okay for me. Most days are. But there comes those days where it's not okay. And I feel like I'm going to end it all. And if you feel that way, understand that you're not alone and reach out to somebody you love, because they might be able to help you, and don't be afraid. You're not a burden. I try to tell myself and remind myself that every day, that I am not a burden, that it's not always necessarily my fault that I feel this way. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have a good day. I hope that whatever you're struggling with, you make it through. And my best advice for anybody out there who is struggling, just try to smile. That's what I do.